I come to you on this stage today to bring you a message of the future. A future we all greatly need. No more expensive VR hardware, out of the reach of average consumers. Full body tracking for the cheap is what I'm talking about. Might I introduce to you Trocs. So what you just saw there is a Troc. What is a Troc? A Troc is just a Knuckles controller and a pair of Crocs squished together, zip tied, compressed to create a Troc, a tracking Croc. It's my little way of doing cheap full body and running it off of used hardware, or in this case, a Knuckles controller from GameStop that has been refurbished and resold. Oh, okay. Let me just scooch in here. Alright. So why a refurbished index controller from GameStop? Well, for one, it's cheap, which is always a plus side, but cheap doesn't mean good. It's used hardware, refurbished, but still used. It's hard to find used hardware that is trustworthy. eBay, Amazon, I would have suspicion buying from them. I've not had a bad experience buying refurbished controllers from GameStop, and the return policy seems to be pretty solid. Let me show you why these are so good. Here, let me just kind of scoot over here. Here we have a comparison between our Vive ones over there and our Troc ones here. For one, the price of the trackers. The price of two Vive trackers comes out to be $260, but two used index controllers from GameStop, $160. We're $100 less right now. But when buying something like this, controllers don't come with dongles. They expect you to connect to the dongles inside your headset. That leads us into having no added dongles that you have to buy, because they're already included with the Vive ones, but you have to buy two dongles for your Trocs. You can probably find them for cheaper than $40 for two. I went to Tundra Labs, and that's where I picked up mine. It's about $20 for each, so $40. That brings our totals to $260 and $200 currently. Now, this doesn't complete our Trocs, that's just the controllers. We need straps. So, let's go ahead and pick ourselves up some straps for the Vives here. $40. You can probably find them a little cheaper, but $40 I feel like is a standard fare. That would include the waist strap too. We end up with $300 on that side. Now, Crocs, they're about $30 a pair if you're going to buy yourself some new ones, so $230. We're a little bit further off from what we had before. We're saving some more money. We're down to about $70 worth of difference. How do we get that $100 of difference? I say use some already owned Crocs. That brings us down to $200. It may be wrong of me to assume that everybody has a pair of Crocs. I'll be honest, I do. I actually have two. I have ones that I use for outside and hiking and going down to the water, and then a pair that I use for VR. The winter's coming, you know, it's starting to get cold. It's the fall season. You can't have holes in your shoes. You might as well take those summer Crocs, and instead of throwing them in the closet, you take them and you zip tie some index controllers to them, use them for full body tracking. And that brings us to $100 worth of savings. Hey, that's not too bad, I'd say. One Pro, it's cheaper. A wonderful, wonderful thing. Money saving. $100? You can use that to go and buy yourself a tracker to actually use on your hip. So much more comfortable. Saying that, comfort. I don't want to, like, out myself here, but these aren't comfortable. It's that little top bit, it's pressed down on there because you're zip tying them. So what we're left with is a rock on the front of your foot, and when you bend your foot like this, it gets in the way. It's not comfortable. And also, flexibility isn't there. a Pro, battery life. They're index controllers. The battery life on these things is like 7 to 8 hours. The same as a 3.0 near a Tundra. These are refurbished, like I said, so you may have to deal with some issues of used hardware. Battery life is also a con, because after years of use, the battery life starts to go down. So I said 7 to 8 hours. It's probably going to be more like 6. And then also, charging time might end up being slower. These are the things that you got to deal with used VR hardware. Pro, I'm kind of running out of these. It's a talking point. I have this wonderful picture here. I set that as my profile picture for a game I like to play. If you couldn't tell, VRchat. So many people right up in your face just looking at it. What is that? What? Oh my god. It's a monstrous creation. I love it. But just because I love it, can I recommend it? No, it's not comfortable. It saves money, and if that's what you're in the market for, if you just really want full body to set in front of a mirror with your e-kitten or whatever, or do one specific task that you think you can just go ahead. You don't need to be moving around. You don't need to zoinks, 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 zoinks. You don't need to be doing any of that fast movement. These these aren't built for fast movement. I'm gonna admit to you. I love them, but I can't recommend it. Listen, let's not talk about how this feels like I'm gonna confess to you that me and your mom are getting a divorce. But I really do truly love these trucks. They're so longingly from the first day I made them, but that's not what I intended to get out of them, you know? You see something and you intend to have a future with them, but it's not how you imagined. I've had them made up just sitting around for the last 8 months thinking I'll do a video with them or something. No, my real goal with them was to put them together, make a video, and then after this they are getting taken apart. It's not worth it to me. They're backup controllers. That's all they've ever been, really. I love these knuckles so much. Breaking a controller is just a tragedy. It hurts. You know, you have to spend a few weeks waiting for new ones, or you have to spend that extra money to get them. But having those ones, those refurbished ones sitting around, isn't a bad thing. It gives me a feeling of security, you know? It's a safety net. So when I inevitably roll off my yoga ball and smash my controllers against the concrete floor, I bought them with the intention of replacing these with them, or I also kind of bought them to take myself up to 11-point tracking. I didn't want to spend $260 to get 2 more trackers. I didn't want to do that. I just saw these and I was like, video, backup, 11-point. Which, those 3 reasons right there were enough for me. Do I recommend it? No. Only if you really can't spend the money and you want it. Or, if like me, you want backup controllers with the added benefit of possibly using them for more tracking. I'd say that's where I'm gonna end it. Have a wonderful time.